Well, as the NFL draft draws nearer by the minute, everyone's talking about the first round, the number 5 overall pick for the Bengals, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper into some names of some smaller school guys who could hear their name picked for the Bengals in the later rounds. Richard Skinner, digital sports columnist and Bengals beat writer here. Skinny, let's get right into it with the move of Giovanni Bernard, They need a running back, a backup one, and a pretty good one here out of the University of Buffalo.
Yeah, JARET Patterson, who this past year, he only played 6 games, rushed for over 1,000 yards in the 6 games. This is a little alarming. The 40 time's not great, but he's got functional speed. I know the size isn't what you want, but he does give you a little bit of a change of pace back, even though he doesn't have blazing speed. And I know it's the MAC, but man, the yardage he got in 6 games, he's a willing blocker. He's got to improve it a little bit against the blitz. But hey, we're looking at this as probably a 6-round graded guy. You're not getting O.J. Simpson here in round 1, for goodness sakes. You're going to get a guy like this that has some upside and you hope has potential. I like JARET Patterson a lot. I've taken him in a couple of mock drafts I've done, and it's not by design. It's just his name's on the board. I think they need a running back, and voila, he's kind of been the guy.
He's definitely a stark contrast when you talk about Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine being those big bruisers.
And even Travion Williams to some degree, yeah.
Yeah, he's a little smaller, a little shiftier. You mentioned the 40 time not as fast as you'd like to see for a top-tier running back, but I feel like he makes up for that with the vision and his cutting ability.
Well, and that's the thing. You look at that, and that's over 40 yards. A lot of times running backs, you need to time them in quick bursts. It really is. It's, do you hit the hole? Do you find the hole? Do you have quick moves in the hole? He has those things, and I'm just the productivity was so great for him that it's just hard to ignore it. I don't care what level of competition he played.
We're staying in the Mid-American Conference. Wide receiver, a big topic for the Bengals. Everyone's saying Jamar Chase, but you like another guy here, Dwayne Eskridge out of Western Michigan.
Yeah, now I still think, in my mind, if I take Jamar Chase at 1, they still need more wide receivers. Right now, they only have really 3, maybe 4 if you count Michael Thomas, main guys on the roster, and Auden Tate's one of those, and Auden Tate's not a blazer. You get Jamar Chase, but you also need somebody that can help out in the slot a little bit. This guy can do it. 40 time of 4.39. He plays faster than that. His productivity this past year, he averaged 23 yards a catch, over 700 yards receiving in 6 games. He is a great downfield threat who can honestly give you great rotational balance to put him in the slot, maybe get him out wide. Look, doesn't mean just because you take Jamar Chase, you're done. I think they take Jamar Chase, and if it's not him, it's going to be somebody else. But this is a 3rd, 4th round pick to look for.
Weapons, more weapons. You can never have too many good wide receivers, especially speedy ones that the Bengals certainly don't have right now. All right, staying on the offensive line or on the offensive side of the ball, I know Penei Sewell's the guy. I know Rashawn Slater, everyone's talking about. Spencer Brown, though, a lesser-known guy out of northern Iowa. He's big, 6'8", 311.
Yeah, 6'8", 311. That's the thing. This guy played 8-man football in Iowa, was a high school tight end in 8-man football, gained 90 pounds while he was in college to get up to that 311. In the 40 time of 4.92, it's about 1/10 of a second faster than Penei Sewell. That's about 1 inch longer. The arms, man. He's got the long
favorite
arms.
Topic, arms.
And the thing that's talked about him is it's more potential. He's probably 3rd-ish round kind of a guy. It's more potential than it is plug and play. Well, they don't really need plug and play. They do need somebody you can groom for the future. It might be the future of 2022 when they let Riley Reif walk. This guy's got potential written all over him. Just a great athlete in that size and the wingspan and the arm length. I think it's a great value somewhere, again, 3rd round, 4th round, if that's where you go with it.
If they do take a tackle at number 5, do you think they'll draft multiple tackles for that developmental problem?
I don't. I think they probably then go back to a guard in a later round or maybe even a middle round. I think they add at least a tackle and a guard somewhere in this draft wherever that comes into play.
All right, now on the defensive side of the ball, not really getting talked nearly as much because there are so many good offensive weapons, but there's a guy you like out of Coastal Carolina because the Bengals do need some more pass rush help, and desperately.
Yeah, look, you do have Sam Hubbard, who's going to be an every down end, and you certainly got Trey Hendrickson as a free agent to be an every down end, but you can move Sam Hubbard inside on nickel downs and add a pass rusher. Khalid Kareem showed some flashes last year. They did re-sign Amani Bledsoe, but they don't move the needle. There's potential there. This guy, Teron Jackson, and again, he's kind of got that tweener size. So did Carl Lawson. And Carl Lawson ended up becoming an every down end. There's belief he can become an every down end, and at the very least can become a situational pass rusher. Extraordinarily productive. 26.5 sacks in his career, most of those coming his last 2 years. 44.5 tackles for loss. Again, we can argue competition level for them, but they also had a great season, Coastal Carolina, and he was a big part of the defense that did it. So, again, you're looking at this guy somewhere later in the draft, but hey, later in the draft, I'm not getting a finished product. That's why that guy goes later, but he's got a lot of measurables. He's got a lot of productivity behind him.
They signed so many guys on the defensive side of the ball in free agency.
Right.
How much emphasis do you think that the team will put on in the later rounds for defense?
Yeah, I think they're still in that best man on the board mentality like everybody is, but I do think you can see him adding a corner at some point, maybe a linebacker at some point, and probably an edge rusher and or an interior lineman. I think they spend, if they keep the 8 picks, because they've got 2 7th-round picks, if they keep the 8 picks, I'll go half and half, probably half offense, half defense when all's said and done.